What's cooking, guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be making these easy beef samosas using empanada discs, which you can find so easily in the supermarket. Using these empanada discs and creating this triangular shaped samosa is a trick I learned from my sister. It's a great hack and a great shortcut in the kitchen, especially if you're going to be making a lot of these beef samosas. So stay tuned for the recipe. Do consider subscribing if you're new here and you'd like to join the foodie family, and also hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And now let's get into it. So let's go over some of the main ingredients first. Here I have one medium-sized onion that I chopped. Then I have about 5 to 6 garlic cloves that I have finely chopped as well. I have one big potato here that I peeled, and then I cut it into these bite-sized cubes. And then I also have one medium-sized tomato that I roughly chopped like this. Then I have 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, but you can also use cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. I have here 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds that are optional. We are using cumin powder, which is just fine as well. And then some freshly ground black pepper, which is like a teaspoon, but use it to your taste. And then of course, some salt to your taste. I'm gonna turn on the heat to medium-high and place a large frying pan on it. Drizzle in some olive oil or oil of your choice. About a tablespoon is fine. So we're not going to be using too much oil. And once the oil heats up in the pan, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little more than a pound of ground beef. You can also substitute this with ground chicken or any meat of your choice. And for my vegan friends out there, you can alternately use a vegan ground for this recipe as well to make it vegan friendly. And then just mix the ground beef in the pan and let it cook. As it cooks, make sure to use a spatula or a wooden spoon to break down the ground beef into really small pieces. You'll see what I mean as I continue to cook this. You can see as this cooks, the ground beef is releasing its own fat. That's why I didn't use too much oil, and I will keep breaking the meat down into small minced pieces as it's cooking, because this is the filling and you don't want big chunks of the ground meat in the samosas. And as this is cooking, I'm going to add in the chopped onion that I mentioned earlier. You can even chop it finer than I did, and also the 5 to 6 garlic cloves that are finely chopped, and mix everything so the aromatics, the onion and the garlic can start to give flavor to the ground beef. You can also use minced ginger here, but I just didn't have any at home. As you can see, there's a lot of the liquid or the juices from the meat, and I want to cook this till it has fully evaporated and the meat starts to brown. At this stage though, I will add the cumin seeds, which are optional. If you don't have this at home, you don't have to use it. So they also give flavor to the meat. Again, mixing it all together so it is well incorporated, and also continuing to break down the bigger pieces of the beef. And after a few minutes, you can see most of the meat juices have evaporated and only a little grease is left over, which is perfect. Let this continue to get caramelized and brown on medium-high heat, which gives it another level of flavor on its own. You can see how it is looking, and there's some pieces of the ground beef that have browned so beautifully and look really good. Now I'll add the one potato that I cut into cubes earlier and mix this all really well. I will also add that one medium-sized tomato that I chopped earlier. In this case, you can also use a little tomato sauce or crushed tomatoes, and then mix it up really well. Now let's add in the spices. I have the turmeric here. I have the red chili powder or cayenne pepper. I have 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, and also 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, freshly ground black pepper to my taste, and then a generous amount of salt to taste to flavor everything. Mix it all up till the spices are incorporated together with the rest of the ingredients. And now, as always, you should use these spices to your taste, so you can adjust any of the amounts to your liking. I'm going to add just a little bit of water here, let's say about a quarter of a cup. I was just eyeballing, so it can help to cook the potatoes a little. And then I'm going to mix this up really well so everything is mixed together, and then I'm going to cover this for about 5 to 7 minutes on medium-low heat. After a few minutes, let's check on this meat mixture and mix it well. Also check to see if the potatoes are getting tender, and these need more time to cook and get tender, but this is a good time to break down the tomato pieces so they can melt down a little in the mixture. And after mixing it really well, cover and let this cook again till the potatoes are tender. After another 5 minutes or so, let's check on this again, and you can see the potatoes are kind of getting there, but at this stage they weren't fully tender the way I like it. But also you can see the liquid in this mixture is evaporating nicely. So I will cover this one last time for like another 5 minutes or until the potatoes are fully tender. And after a few minutes, the potatoes should be fully cooked now. And you can see the progression of how everything cooked together, and it's looking like my beef and the potato filling is all done. This is exactly how you want it to look like. And at this stage, you can turn off the heat and let the mixture cool completely before using it as a filling. Now let's make the samosas out of these empanada discs. I love using these. It helps out so much and makes for a great cooking hack. I'll just take out one of the discs and roll it out a little with a rolling pin. And then just make a cut halfway down the disc like this. Then you want to take the ends of the disc and bring them together in the center, making a triangular shape. And then press the dough together so you can close the disc completely so we can fill these up. Just make sure there's no holes and you press it together really well on the outside and also on the inside. And then I'm going to take the beef filling I made earlier and add a few spoons of it till it is filled to the amount I want. Obviously, you do not want to overfill this. And then taking the open edges of the disc at the ends, you want to close them up and crimp the edges so they are fully sealed. So just keep pressing them with your finger and your thumb together. And once they are sealed, you can use a fork to seal the edges completely, but this also helps to add a little design to these samosas, making them look totally homemade, even though we obviously have help from the store. And how cute does this samosa look, and super easy to make. I will show you how to make one more so you can get the idea again, and then we'll move on to cooking these together. Here I have all of my samosas made. They are fun to assemble with friends and family, so get your people in the kitchen with you and definitely make these. These can also be frozen by placing them in a plastic bag for up to 2 to 3 months, I would say. You don't really have to thaw them before cooking, but just make sure when you fry these or air fry them that the inside heats up and is not cold or frozen in any way. Now let's fry these up. So I am going to heat up a small pan on medium-high heat and pour some canola oil for frying and let it heat up to a good frying temperature. I'm just going to take a little piece of the empanada disc to test out if the oil is hot, and clearly it is at a perfect frying temperature. So let's add our samosas in the hot oil so they can cook. You want to put the seam side down first so that it can seal even more as it hits the hot oil. And now these fry really quickly. As you see, they will start to brown in seconds. So you want to have the flame on a medium level so the inside of the samosa also gets a chance to get warm, yet the outside gets to a nice golden brown color. And as always, be very careful working with hot oil. You don't want to burn yourself. So very gently turn these over as they get brown on each side. As you can see here, guys, these are looking superb and perfect. And once they look done, you want to take these out of the hot oil and put them on a paper towel lined plate to absorb any of the excess oil. And then continue frying these up in batches so they get a chance to evenly cook on both sides, and also not changing the temperature of the oil too much. So that's why frying in batches is always key. You can also air fry these like I have shown here for 10 to 15 minutes till they are golden brown on the outside and hot on the inside for a healthier option rather than frying them in oil. So here are my samosas, and I want to show you the inside of one. You can see that homemade beef and potato filling we made earlier, and the crispy empanada disc that we used as a samosa crust by making that classic triangular shape out of them. These look so good. I fried half of the batch I made today for this video and froze the other half for the future. So you can always make these ahead and freeze them and then take them out to fry them or air fry them if you have guests coming over, or if you're just craving a delicious classic snack with a sauce of your choice. For me, these are delicious with some ketchup. The flavors go really well together. The spicy from the beef filling and the sweetness from the ketchup is a perfect match for me. I really hope you try this easy recipe for beef samosa using empanada discs, and let me know in the comments below how they turn out for you. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my beef samosa recipe using empanada discs, which is a great hack in the kitchen. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. I'll be seeing you in the next one, guys. Until then, take care of yourselves.